Welcome to the CTB Top channel. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the hottest news of the day. Our newsletter today includes the following. Although it seems cold, this constellation actually wants to welcome visitors, but turns them away and even takes pleasure in doing so. The colder he is, the more you love him. It is not lost on some that long-distance relationships frequently necessitate some form of adaptation on both parties. Their apparent hostility is just a ploy to get you to pay attention to them. Though, generally speaking, the colder they are, the more alluring you find them to be. We're talking about people who can either open doors or shut them, so the real question is how many distinct constellations there actually are. Most of them have mastered the art of appearing both distant and uninterested. 1. Leo. Those born under the sign of Leo tend to be more upbeat and gregarious than the average person, which can make others mistake them for being too easy to talk to, leading them to place less emphasis on conversation. Thus, many Leos have a propensity to come out as extremely cold when expressing their emotions. Leo gives off the impression that he is unapproachable because of the way he elevates the whole person and because he is a man of few words. A Leo will not appear overly enthusiastic or friendly when they first enter a room, and they will also exude an aura of superiority. Leo doesn't want everyone to know his true colors just yet, so that's why a person Leo has affections for may not give him or her much mind. And Leo may come out as possessive and domineering. They want to be thought of as friendly and helpful, but they don't want to appear too humble. Since Leo continually sacrifices his profit for the greater benefit of others, people born under the sign of Cancer are more likely to desire to maintain their dignity and avoid lowering their heads. Many Leos try to appear as though they aren't overjoyed by something that clearly fills their hearts to bursting. They plan to approach it on purpose while keeping an objective position. While his pals are on the edge of losing it, Leo is able to retain his cool. A Leo, on the other hand, will demonstrate through their conduct that they merely wish to avoid social rejection and the appearance of embarrassment. Thus, Leo may sometimes act distant and aloof to avoid embarrassment. Their happiness is buried deep within their hearts, but if you probe a little farther you'll find that they're actually pretty content. 2. Capricorn. When Capricorn are struggling internally, they may put up a cold front to appear more confident to the outside world. A Capricorn's usual self-control and openness to new experiences are put to the test by even the slightest temptation. In order to figure out what's wrong with oneself and whether or not the other person is a good fit, Capricorn have a natural tendency to maintain a high-cold attitude. Many Capricorn maintain a cold approach toward the person they like since they aren't sure if they're the ideal match for them. They can't be reasoned with since they're too emotionally invested in their position to change. If a Capricorn's mind can't wrap around something, there's no way that person can be accepted. When Capricorn feel hurt in a relationship, they often respond by withdrawing emotionally and becoming distant. Since they are at a loss as to how to handle the circumstance, they avoid speaking from the heart. Many Capricorn, then, choose to say nothing at all and avoid others who engage in stalking behavior. That's not because they don't like each other, it's because they sense the other person is going through something difficult emotionally and don't know what to do to help. Fear prevents them from confronting one another, and the mistaken belief that they can't satisfy one another leads to them keeping their distance. This means it can be difficult to track down a Capricorn in some situations. A person's likelihood of being far from someone they like increases so that they can focus more of their attention on the person they like more. 3. Aquarius. Even if many Aquarius natives don't aggressively hate anybody, they probably also don't want to drop in price around anyone they greatly like. Aquarius may have frequent encounters, each time keeping a hostile attitude and using unfavorable tactics. In their minds, if they can keep their emotional distance from one another, the other person will focus more on them. Indeed, many Aquarius also aspire to be understood and cared for by others, and Aquarius themselves frequently have the idea that the other person will love them entirely. But the deeper their yearning, the less they want to be seen. As a means of learning about how other people think, they often adopt dismissive or superior stances. When someone is interested in you, they will wait for you even if the weather is chilly. The apathy of Aquarius will naturally push them away, especially if the other person doesn't like themselves nearly as much as they should. Aquarius won't be too disheartened if this happens to them, as they will feel they have maintained their honor. As a result, Aquarius might become very angry and continue to damage the other party or generate disagreements if they feel the other person does not love them sufficiently. This is due to Aquarius's belief that romantic relationships should be mutually beneficial. Still, Aquarius would advocate for a separation initially in order to stop being so servile.